My name is Chris, and tonight I want to talk to you about ego versus soul. The discussion about ego versus soul is very important in any personal growth or spiritual development. Understanding the distance or the difference between these two aspects is a journey in itself. When I was first introduced to controlling my ego or working on my ego, I took offense actually, because most people think about being egotistical and having that, and I did not consider myself to be that type of person. But we all have egos. Ego is the psychological part of our physical being. It identifies our self identity, our personal concerns with physical existence, survival, and social status. Ego is driven by fear, desire, and validation. It's constantly seeking to protect us, and maintain control, and often leads to behavioral thoughts around competition, competitiveness, and judgment, where the soul responses are deep, true self, being who we are, and knowing there's more than our physical body and our social roles. Our soul is connected to the higher purpose by divine love, compassion, pleasure, and truth. The truth of ourself, of our being, and pursuing that truth. The soul is seeking unity, peace, harmony, guiding us towards a more balanced life. The conflict with it is the ego is trying to protect us. The soul is trying to do what's right for us and motivate us to do that. Our soul is seeking validation and power for material success, where the soul is seeking peace, authenticity, and spiritual growth. So the fears of change is off our ego, where our soul is wanting to be vulnerable and welcomes transforming, where the soul doesn't. But finding the balance between them is quite difficult. The two voices, the angel and the devil on your shoulder, are symbols of those two elements. But we got to watch, because sometimes that ego can be very convincing that he is the actual angel and he's not, or she is. He is. But recognizing your true self and knowing what's right. And this also goes back to being out of balance and out of alignment. If you're doing stuff constantly to please the ego, but it's not within your soul's best interest, you'll be out of alignment for that period of time. And if you're chasing or pursuing something that is the ego's desire, but not necessarily what you're supposed to be or what your soul desires or your main purpose, you're going to be out of alignment. The ego is there to protect us, but it can also lead us into a negative spiral. So identifying and recognizing the difference between them is by self-awareness. Self-awareness, cultivating that mindset of becoming aware of what your ego is trying to control you and what your thoughts are and what actions are being put out there by fear, pride, insecurity. Knowing, okay, I need to watch out. Okay, the ego is saying, no, you got to be fearful of being judged. But what's on the other side of that, if you let yourself go and you actually start talking, is it leading to you healing? Inner reflection. I find that the inner reflection, meditation. Now remember, meditation is not just sitting cross-legged on the couch. Meditation could be going for a walk. Meditation can be thinking or allowing your mind to have open space anytime. It can be driving. Just being aware of everything that's going on. It's awareness. Listening to your inner voice and seeking peace. Seeking peace, love, and wisdom is what you're trying to do with your reflection. Self-compassion, taking care of yourself, watching what you're thinking, watch that inner dialogue, making sure that the self-talk is good and that you're not beating yourself up, and listening and watching for that dialogue is one thing that you're going to hear that ego like, well, you're not good enough. Dummy, why are you doing it that way? Once you start listening to your inner dialogue, that self-compassion, you'll start recognizing it. Purpose. Aligning your actions with what your higher purpose is. Seeking that activities and relationships that nourish your soul. Bringing that sense of fulfillment to you and knowing what it is. Letting go. The last one that you need to do is let go. Let go of the embarrassing or insecurities in your life. Trust the process. Have faith in your inner guidance. So there's actually 3 elements: ego, soul, and your guides. You're going to know when your guides are guiding you. They're going to show you signs, and they're not going to let those signs go away until you actually change your path or change your course or figure out what you're doing wrong. So the journey between ego, soul is about building that relationship with yourself and identifying your self-awareness, cultivating that mindset of what you want to do and making sure that you're listening for what the ego is telling you to do versus your guides and your soul. Guides in your soul are going to be having pretty much the same dialogue to you. Your soul is going to want you to do something. Your guides are going to direct you to do it. Inner reflection, spending time and listening and seeking that peace, love, and wisdom. Identifying your purpose, finding out what your true purpose in life is. This one takes time and it will come to you. And your purpose may change. People come into our lives to give us direction. And let go. Forgiveness. Trust the purpose. Trust the process. Trust the process and have faith in your inner guidance. But you need to friend your ego. Your ego is so powerful. You need to have it on your side. So whatever your purpose is, you need to convince your ego to have that purpose. The purpose of the ego is to protect you, and the ego will have an issue to let go of certain things that it has deemed that it needs to protect you against. And to find that purpose and to change your ego it's work, but it's well worth it. And own every action yourself. Anything that's happened has happened to you for a reason. I want to thank you. I hope this helps someone. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me at Chris. So it's Chris at chrishines.com. I look forward to seeing you and talking to you. Take care.